Case on our network, from quality music video, crusade and outreach activities, movies, comedies and African drama, interview and special feature, baby shower, engagement, weddings and a whole lot more. We are into business promotion. Join our network and do business with us today as we add value to your mobile devices, online and on your TV set. Don't forget to join us for our Real Gospel Hour, Real Gospel Talk with pastors from all around, and our powerful confident prayer time. It's Voice TV Africa, showing the rest of the world of Africa you don't know. Voice TV Africa, proudly African. Voice TV Africa, the station that blesses your soul.
Love is all we need to make it stand. Oh, Eric, you are muted, so you have to unmute yourself. I'm not getting anything from you. Are you getting me, Eric? I'm still not hearing any audio coming from you. I was listening to the music and the music was live from my side, but I'm not hearing you talking, and I don't know. You have to do some adjustment on the line, Eric, so that we can get you crystal clear tonight on the show. So please, hope you do that with your line. Hope you do that adjustment with your line tonight, so that we can be able to get you
Are you
clear.
getting me now?
Getting me now? Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay, that's
Okay,
good.
that's good.
Thank you, folks. We do
Think
seem
of
to
what
have
we do
right now
since our right now,
technical
technical
problem,
problem,
but
but
that's
as
technology.
technologists, sometimes
Sometimes you have to face some of these problems, but the ability to get over the problem is what matters. So again, like I said, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It depends which part of the globe you are. We'd like to say a pleasant welcome to the program Frontline Focus Roundtable. We're broadcasting from Dual Studios, DC and radio there in Sister City, Riverside County, on the program Good Evening Riverside, and of course, see my digital studio here in Yapatan, Riverside County. Today is Monday. Monday is the 14th day of July. The year remains 2025. My name is Eric Opaduo, and I'm here with Gabriel Sawa there in. Remember, Gabriel, you have to work on your left knee because around you will be bright. Then your whole face is dark. The people are not seeing you. They just seeing one dark shades and the wet knot sign on your cap. That's just all people see. And this have been like this for almost a month now. So you gotta work on your left knee. Put it left behind your computer, my man.
yeah, Eric, I'm using the Central Studio computer. It's an Apple computer, so it has its own lighting system. So I don't know what I can increase the light on the computer. Maybe there's something like that I can do. But I hope that I'll call my technician to see what he can help me. But but my lights are all being increased here, so I don't know. But however, I'll do that, Eric, because it's good. But go ahead.
Yeah. So that's it, folks. We'd like to say welcome to it, and we are here. We are your servant. Don't forget to always like and follow our page, and we are here tonight to bring you what you desire. Give us the show because I was not really feeling well, so did not go anywhere, and I've just been here. Fortunately for me this evening, I'm okay and I'm on the show. So the talking points, we're hoping that it comes. All of the talking point comes from Gabriel, except that the Riverside University Veteran Health their program here, and the guest speaker admonished the veterans that being a veteran is good, but staying away from your county as a veteran, and you want to come into the county to have your either your induction or some kind of ceremony, it's not enough. But when you come home and have something here, I think that will be good. So in a nutshell, he was calling on the Veteran Association, University Veteran, to see make it their business, the duty to come home and have structures or carry out some development here instead of you are in Monrovia, you are in Buchanan, and coming to Riverside to just have your program. After your program, you are back in Monrovia, and after years before you come back. So he admonished them to do that. I think that's what discussing because most often you have people from Riverside stay out of the county and they only come here occasionally and making the county, you know, to either not develop, because if all of us just have one structure in this county before we are leaving Monrovia and Buchanan, our county will be okay. So that's why he told them that's Onisimo Brown. I think we can discuss that. That's all we have for my end, because like I said, not too well, so I didn't go out there to find out to get some information. So Gabriel, what do you have on your side?
Yeah, Eric, thank you so very much. I was just thinking about that we could possibly discuss the veteran activities over the weekend. I was invited officially, but it was quite unfortunate that I was too busy with other things, and so I tried to cut my schedule for that Saturday, but it still was not in my favor. So I did not attend the veteran program. But interestingly, I got the latest from there. So we can also have that discussion, their contributions, the veteran contributions over the past year. And they've also been benefiting from CFDF funding. What have they been doing with those funding in terms of what they intend to do in the future? So it will be another topic. And interestingly, from a side, one topic that I also have this evening, now I just said it to my audience, is the issue surrounding come here, see, I gotta get it. I gotta get that rightly. Okay. It's the issue of effectively managing our resources in the midst of donor cuts that is taking root across the world, so we can prioritize more domestic revenue generation and effectively and efficiently use those revenue that we generate locally, so that it can have a better impact into the different programs or development agenda that we run, whether we are doing in health, we are doing education, we are doing rule of law, we are doing it with road network, or we are doing it with infrastructure development, so that it can have a better, greater impact than ever before, so that we can be wasting funding like we did with past administration. So we can know our priorities from judging from experiences from past administration. We are invested hugely to this issue of building commissioners compound, building or contributing resident, and all these different things that up to current, these projects become burden on us. Administration go, administration come, and it's not contributing to what we wanted to do. They are all being left in the bush, and persons and squirrels are living in the structure. So I think that's key. How can we effectively manage our domestic resources in the midst of donors cut? Because every time we hear when USAID is cutting, European Union is focusing on other country, the Swedish is focusing on another team. So we're not going to be having all these different donors programs that used to come. The first thing we want to know about, we are going to almost 2 decades of uninterrupted peace. So that means we are at peace. In a country that is at peace, you're not supposed to be donor driven. This is why President Bouaka went to the US. He did not ask for 8, he asked for 3. So how do we measure that particular statement and localize it? That look, we can effectively and efficiently use our domestic resources so that we can have a greater impact. Don't forget that we are moving to this issue of community, not community, but this issue of county treasury, that every county will have to produce their own funding and develop themselves as stipulated in the Local Government Act. So how can we domesticate those things, those resources that we have, that we can have a greater impact into the different programs, most especially being, I would say accurately, the poorest in Liberia, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of human resource capacity, and in terms of basic social services, we are the poorest. So how can we navigate between those things? And that's one key topic that I have for tonight, Eric.
Sure, Gabriel, you are correct, and I think we can delve into that so that our people will have a sense of what we should do as Liberians, and we want to contextualize it, bring it to the River Cess as a county, bring it to River Cess as a county. Why we no longer, going to depend on donor funding, and the county is, while waiting for government and we're waiting for social development fund, we're waiting for county development fund. There are a lot of domestic revenue collection in our county, but how can we now utilize those opportunities? How can we now utilize them? Because back then we knew that USAID would pay the volunteer teachers in the various public schools. So whether we were raising money from SCRAP committee, whether we were raising money from plan committee, no one really had time, except that when there was time where some people would stand up and say, oh, we want to know where the money is going. Nobody really had time. Nobody talked about even accounting for those money because they had covered up. You are in the school, you still got money and putting it in the school, in the health sector, in all of those areas. So domestic revenue that were being collected were not really being accounted for. But at this time, what can we do? How can we, replace some of those, fill in some of those gaps that the USAID Corp is currently affecting, while we're waiting for national government to find a space, to find what they can do to fill in the gap from the national level. But we as a county, what we think we can do? I think these are things we need to kind of discuss today. We need to catalog some of those domestic revenue collection areas and to talk about them, because I know that most of the time, most of the people complain. For example, if you went on the Los Sultan Road, you see the traditional people are there with their mass dancer, as we call them, country devil. And they have turned themselves into public work. And they are there making sure that the bad areas on the road is done. So if you went in there with your vehicle, they're going to stop you. The devil is going to stop you. The disciples of the devil is going to stop you and to make sure that you do what they want you to do. If you are a pit sawyer and they grab you there, they're going to make sure you bring your saw, and then you saw the wood that they want you to saw to make sure that they fix the bridge. They also go. That's what they are doing there right now. So this is
Eric. So where this is happening, Eric?
Along the One Horse Road. Yeah. I actually decided to have gone there today, but again, I'm afraid it's not just something that you want to just go there. So the traditional people there, they're doing their thing. They got their mass dancer there. You needed to maybe talk to some of them to come and give you the free way before you can go there. I don't want to be like the guy that was in Nimba, so I didn't go there. But the information is, the guys are there. They are facing those upper bridges along the road. So if you are there, if you go in there with your car, they're going to show going to hold you. They're going to compel you to do what you're supposed to do. Because I mean, the logs are coming from the timbers are coming from in there, but the road is bad. If you're going to Kampala right now, it's not easy. I went there 4 days ago. It's not easy. So the guys are there working. These are the result of people not accounting for, because a lot of plant truck will come from in there. You collect the money. What did you do? The people who are the custodian, the sufferer. You collect the money. Yeah, it's a good thing. You have it somewhere kept, but what do you do with it after that? So these are things I think we need to kind of discuss today. Let our people have their view. Let them have their say. Yeah. Here are you there?
Me, man. Are you getting me now? Yeah, so thank you so very much for bringing that forward. I think is alarming with the conversation tonight of maximizing our resources, because in the midst of donor cuts, very soon we're going to be having most of the NGOs leaving, and most of them already leaving, dropping staff, and all these things are taking place, and the burden come back to the government. So from the domestic standpoint, that means that the little we have to make maximum use of the little we have. For example, I always said to people, if you know that you come from a very poor background and God blesses you, for you to be having little funding, you know that funding may not be enough to cover all the different things. But what you have to do is to make sure that you make use of it. Is to make sure that you know your priorities. For example, if you think in your mind that education is a priority, you invest into education. If you think health issue is a priority, you invest into it. If you think road building is a priority, you invest into that. And for us, River says, we have too many competing priorities. Too many competing priorities with little budget. For example, our only funding that would depend on every year in and year out, that would be mismanagement, I would say, from that standpoint, is the issue of the CFDF funding. So from past administration, we've been missing the trend. We push the CFDF funding from a political standpoint, than being a funding that would impact the greater people. I wrote a piece, I think a year back, entitled CFDA, a curse or a blessing. So I was like, this has been a curse, because joining from different projects into the county, because a curse is something that continues. So, for example, 2009, we started something we call the 20-bedroom guest house. We've been building that structure from 2009 up to current. We are still building it. So, are we cursing ourselves, or is this something happening? From 2009, you started building a one project up to current, you still that. Not just with the 20-bedroom guest house. We have commissioners compound that we started years back. They're going up to 10 years. We're still putting funding on those projects, and some of them are not being even used. Some of them are in the bush. Like I went to Atia about almost a month ago with a team, and if you go to that place, you see the commissioner compound is in the bush, Eric. The compound is in the bush. So they started the construction, I think only the commissioner office, but the residential area of the commissioner is in a very deep forest. So I like, why are we wasting funding every time? Do we know our priorities? We know that, look, these commissioners have to have a dwelling places. But with the little resources that we have, what can we do that we think is our urgent priority that is more beneficial to everybody? For example, if you buy an ambulance and send it to maybe Friend River Clinic, the people around Timo coming all more closer to Cester City will benefit, because when there's a pregnant woman at that place, they will use it. When there's a child that is dying, it will be used to transport that child either to Bedia or to St. Francis. That will make a greater impact. So if you have a little funding, like for example, I have around 500 LD. I want to eat in the morning. I want to buy a trash car at the same time. I want to do another thing. So why is the priority between them? Eating, it will be my priority for that particular moment, because it will make me to be more stronger to work. Then I can be able to get trash car money. I can be able to get funding to do the other thing. So I always say to people, use public funding like the way you use your own pocket funding. Then you're going to know that what happens if this was from my pocket directly. Then you will know what is basically the priorities. But we basically have not been doing that, and we continue to follow the old trends of doing the bad things. I think there's new leadership trying to put some system in place, back and forth to various contractors and everything. We're looking forward to then how it works out, and how they're going to maximize the little funding coming in. But I don't think in my mind that we just have to depend on funding coming from the CFDF fund. Don't forget, Eric, that there's a drop in the CFDF fund. It used to be 250,000 US dollars. I think the Joshua government reduced it. The Bouaka government even further reduced it. I understand like a little over 100,000 now. The further I think to be corrected, the further reduce it. So there's a possibility going in the future that government will further reduce it, because privately the government think that it's not being effectively and efficiently used for the internal purpose. So if it was being used for the internal purpose, then I think the government will see a need and say, look, these people want more. For example, we have legislative funding that are coming to the country, legislative funding for legislative projects. So what project can we target and evolve the political nature into the issue, although the funding is from the political backgrounds, but let's evolve the political nature into the issue and prioritize our more urgent priorities. Then that's going to have a greater impact. But let me admit, we've not been doing that as a county, and this is what is affecting us today. I'm not escaping myself there because I'm here. We all have not been doing that as a county. So now with the issue of donor costs, like you said, the USAID was here. They were doing a lot of work. They were investing into the fisheries sector. They were investing into roads. They were investing into agriculture, in education. They were single-handedly dealing with our education system and health. But they're gone. So at the end of the day, it left with us. Donald Trump has said he's not going to spoon feed us. So we're being dependent on being spoon fed by America. Now they are telling you, you have to feed ourselves because we are so old enough to chew bones. So since we're so old enough to chew bones, we have to look for the rightful bone to chew. I look forward that we can tap on the system and strategies of County like Grand Bassa. We can tap on the strategy of the Bonkies, the Lofians, the Nimbayans. And we can organize a technical working group, like I say, let's go to Nima. How did Ganta City, that was a city of dirt, managed in the last 5 to 10 years to be like this one, with a huge population? How did they manage? What was the roadmap? What was the priorities? And in the last 20 to 30 years, we still have an old church building called a city hall. I would say that resembles an old Baptist church building, the Cester City Hall. So how can we navigate from that point and put ourselves into a modern reality and not just being analog, but be a bit digital, that we have a digital age to follow? So it's a bit of tricky issue, Eric, but we're looking forward to how we will be able to maximize our funding as a county. So this issue surrounding all of us, not just the one group of people, not just the people in the authority, not just the although they make the decision, they are the policy makers, not just the legislative caucus, not just the county council. So I think that's the reason the county council is there as a local legislative body that are going to vet the budget and see what basically is the priority issues into the budget. Let's look at Yanii, for instance. What would we think is a priority for Yanii? Yanii population is been growing, and in terms of infrastructure, while they're so poor, they will boast that they have some of the best brains and educated people, but they are the poorest. But why it's growing infrastructure wise, but education wise, in terms of people who children going to school, they are a bit low. Comparing them with Yanii is a bit above them in terms of children who want to go to school. Tibet is far above, but in terms of infrastructure, they are moving forward. So let's study all these different districts and what are the issues and how can we appropriate the necessary resources that can make a greater impact. How can we intervene to basically what some of the donors are bringing? Because some of the donors, they are still here, but they are just bringing peanuts. For example, the Swedish are here and they are giving peanuts. The European Union is here. They're not giving as compared to USAID. The government, Netherlands, the Irish government, they are here, but they cannot contribute as compared to our closer ally, the US. So we're looking forward to that, Eric. Eric, are you there?
Gabriel, I heard you talk about putting together a technical team to go to Nimba, to go to Bonk, and I was like, Are you kidding me? Do we really need to go to Nimba? Are we not human beings like the Nimbayan, like the Bongis? Don't our people travel outside of Liberia to see things that happen? Don't they go there to see for themselves? Do we really need to go and ask the people? No, you don't need to go there. I think what we need to do firstly is to agree, to come together as one people, to understand that yes, indeed, these are things that should be our priority. The first thing that should come to mind is, even though I'm a representative, I'm a senator, if I don't equip or do what I can to ensure that the St. Francis Hospital, the Bidatan Hospital, is up to the task with all these life-saving equipment, one day I will be like a common person, and I will not be representative. I will never be senator. I will not have all of the money I'm having now. That's how we need to think. And it's not just about us, but the fact that we continue to say, oh yeah, I got 9 years. If after my 9 years, I'm going there again, my children are out of the country. And if that is the case, our country is going to remain like this. So for me, we are not there. We are not supposed to go anywhere, because these people that the countries we're talking about, they got two senators. Like we are 2 senators. The only thing is a president district, and that's the same thing. So these countries also have they have many districts. That's why I have many representatives. But it's 1 representative per district. So we are all equal. So we should be tapping from what they're doing. We don't get reason to have one technical team to go to Nimba. No. We need to agree as people. What do we do? How can we do this? Have consultation, go to the various districts, know their priority. And this is why not happening. If I'm a superintendent today, I call Gabriel and make Gabriel the plan committee chairperson. I call Aaron GC and make him the strap committee chairperson. I call Mentu Surage and make Mentu Surage the some kind of committee chairperson. And that's it. So all of them, you, Gabriel, Metusula, Aaron, you people are answerable to me. You're not answerable to anybody. You get the money, the one you want to use, you use it, and can send me the balance one. That's how I'll count the pen. Danje Buri, I mean, have been the only person of recent, the only committee person that have made report and made it public, brought it to the media so that we can see. But I mean, since they removed him and have somebody else there, well, we don't hear anything. That's it. That's it. So it's not about going anywhere. It's about being sincere to our people. It's about being sincere to ourselves, our children. Buhari died in London. You know what Nigerians are saying? Why will you go die in London when you were president for 8 years? You could not, improve our hospitals, and you had to go to London to go do medical checkup, and then you die there. And that's what's going to be happening around here. If you cannot equip St. Francis, you cannot improve with the hospital, you're going to die. If you cannot, you're going to die in Monrovia, or you're going to die outside of Liberia. Nobody needs to teach us how to improve our places. We just need to be sincere, Gabriel. And I think that's what we are lacking in this county. Even though it's a national issue, but River says it's worse. River says it's actually worse because apparently because we don't have strong civil society, the religious community, they're also not strong. I don't want to talk about the elders, but that's it. The young people, they are divided. Gabriel got his people, I got my people, Aaron has his people, Metusura has it on the pressing. So like we are talking right now, a lot of people will put the phone on and put it to the radio. And then, come and go to Opa to page. And this is what Gabriel and Opa is talking about, you people. And at the end of the day, sometimes they call you, sometimes they call me, sometimes they send text and say, oh, this is why you're discussing. Sometimes they send their people to come and insult us. That's it. And this is how the country is. But I always said, until we can allow people to give a chance to do what they know how to do best, and we are sincere to our people, our country remains just like this. Today, we shouldn't be here.
Yeah, Eric, are you there?
Yeah. We shouldn't be talking about the road to how they call it, Chinese road. We shouldn't be saying the road is bad. We shouldn't be saying, guys, sometimes road is bad. These are the places that we could put our money as a county while waiting for national government. Are we doing it? No. Do we have the money? Yes, we have. Go on all of the small rivers and creeks around here. People are mining there. They are paying something. Where did money go? We don't know.
I think, Eric, yeah, thank you, Eric. I think, thank God that you have a very contrary opinion to what I say in terms of organizing technical working group. The reason I said it is that probably, maybe we saw it, but we don't know the way it's being done, or we don't know the strategies that is being done. So this is why we just see a lot of people say Liberia is not developing, Liberia is developing graciously. I told somebody in the next man's population, do you think country like Equatorial Guinea has the population as compared to Nigeria? When they are more developing than a country like Nigeria, Nigeria have more resources as compared to them. They have a greater population. So the argument would be the Nimbayans are populated people, or Nimba County is a populated country. But it's not because of population. It's not because of population. It's because they see their country as their own. With the limited resources that they had, they see themselves as one people with a united front despite the political differences. They do have political differences. It's not everybody in my country was seconding the Prince Johnson. No. Or it's not everybody that is there will say yes to Jeremiah Kuhn. They have diverse political backgrounds, diverse cultural background, religious background, and too many ethnicity issues is there. But their one priority is the country is above all interest. That's the priority. So we can go there, the reason, institute a technical working group and ask them, how do you manage to go to this place? How do you manage to achieve this? What are the priorities? And the argument will be on our side, okay, even if we know the strategy, we don't have to fund it. We do have to fund it. Like you said, we have the money. No. I was sitting with the planning committee, I think last year, when that committee was being controlled by the county council. They told me, call out in the team, that this between 5 to 6 months that they stayed there, they were able to generate something around 700,000 LD. So I was like, excluding expenditures, excluding funding that they used, for example, for salary payment or a thing. So I was like, if we were generating such a huge money in 5 months' time, so before the end of the year, let's forget about the two months in the year, and let's just say 10 months, make it 1 year. So when we're generating around 750,000, so that means we'll generate little over 100, and not 100, but little over $1 million. Or over $1 million we're going to be generating. We're going to be generating that funding. So it may be in Liberian dollars, but for example, can we say we go to total public school? Since we saw the journalist or our colleague Aaron posted a video or a photo and wrote a story about students sitting in the sand and in the dust, and they're capable on a lab, and they were sitting in the rain writing. Can we go there and make an intervention? Can we go to government central that is situated right in Cecil City, that is being in a dilapidated building? Can we go and say, look, we can use some of the funding and re-roof that structure? Can we do it? But we can't just depend on national government. And national government have huge priorities. We can't just depend on the CSDF funding that coming to the country. No, there's a huge priorities also attached. I hope a day what the government will say is that, look, the CSDF funding was saying, this is the city, this is how you use it. These are priorities area, and give it to the country people. Say, invest the money in the area, don't do your own thing. I hope so one day that it will come to pass. Because I think it's a way properly we can manage the funding. Maybe they will restrict us and say, look, the phony is only for this and this, not any other thing. I hope so. But we've not been doing it. For me, I'm not solely concerned about this administration. I'm not seeing what they have started. They started, but they are not doing anything because they are incapacitated. And the reason they are incapacitated because they lack a full structure and they cannot function. So a house that lack the full structure of a house cannot be a proper building. So I would not squarely fully blame them about some of the issues, but I'm judging from the past, from the G4 administration, coming all the way to the Baseman Kabi administration, that I will say it was a free 6 years of how you call it. I don't know whether it was a jubilation or it was a fountain 6 year or what kind of 6 year we were operating. I did not see anything. I absolutely did not see anything. And we started investing into those projects that we yet to complete since 2009. Since 2009. Go ahead. Hello, Eric, are you there? Eric, are you getting me? So it's like I have to, Eric has to come back, and I hope he come back in the studio. He come off again. The internet from the side seems to be very terrible today. So as I was saying, that's one thing we can do because we can always depend on the national government. We can always depend on the CFDF funding. The CFDF has been restricted. It's a lot of things being attached to it. Business, social services, infrastructure development. We can always depend on those things. Like, for example, we have the CDA, the Candidate Development Agenda, that is aligned with the AARD. So, what are the priorities areas in the AARD as aligned with the CDA? So we can keep this conversation ongoing. That we can make a greater impact. So I look forward to a particular day that will look at our priorities areas, not just spending and say this is our priorities. Look, when we have $50, we'll say okay, that $50 let's just build one structure, or let's just fix these things, or let's just put it to the particular district. It will make a greater impact than taking the $50 and sharing it $2 all over the place. And at the end of the day, the impact of it is something seen. So I hope so we'll reach to that particular point. Eric's at the background, I don't know. Eric?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, the internet seems to be bad from the side. I don't know what's happening today. You just going off and on.
Yes,
I know.
I think it's okay. Okay. I'm here on it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying, we really don't need.
Eric, you have to adjust your internet. I don't know.
Yes,
I'm
my internet being some problem, and I'm working on it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So just be going on. Let me switch because I was kind of using the phone. So let me switch to the radio. Just be going on. Let me leave the studio. And then
you can come back. That's great. So as I was saying, so the issue is to know our priorities, because when we have when you are a poor person, you act like a poor man, so that you can be able to reach a person who is a million to an income holder. So you cannot compare yourself with that person at a particular point, but you must know what is the priorities. For example, if you look at education, it's one of the least sector. You cannot even compare it with a closer rival, health. We have a lot of school buildings in this place that are dilapidated, that they don't resemble a learning environment. They don't even resemble a shelter for a billy goat. Before I say human beings stay in the area to learn. I went to the Total Public School the last time. I think I was there, I think a month or two ago. And that place is terrible. It's terrible for students. For example, come right here, Government Central right here. It's much better now because the PTA did a very great job. But how can we complement the efforts of the PTA to make more impact? We have the mining sector that is very, I would say, corrupt. Very, very corrupt. Because poor regulations is there. Can we set up a specific committee? Not like the one Bismarck just set up the last time where my man Ivan Bode were heading. We don't know how that committee functions. We don't know what report they produced, how they presented that report, what was their impact in the country. We don't know that committee. We don't know the people were reporting to. That particular Ivan Bode mining committee. Can we set up a committee that will be responsible to regulate that particular sector and working in line with the Ministry of Mines and Energy? Because Mines and Energy cannot be all over the place. But how can they be? Because no community in this country that you go to, you not see somebody using shovel to dig somewhere for gold. That means we are rich with natural resources, but we are poor in terms of making use of the natural resources for greater impact. So, for example, if we say we generate about maybe 5,000 from the mining sector, 5,000 US dollars every year from the mining sector, a minimum, and we'll generate closer to 10 million from the pig sawing sector from our forest area, and we'll generate this one, and this is how we're going to be using it. This is how we'll use it. It will have a very greater impact than what we're doing today. We cannot continue with this situation. We cannot continue. We have to stop. Eric, thank God you came back on. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what I think needs to happen. I was thinking and I said, look, you say it's gone. The Swede and other people, they're here, but they are putting the money into specific areas. Like the Swede, they are mostly focusing on media development. And it is not open, like the use it was. They look at a specific or for them where they think the money can go. But we have this domestic revenue, like you said. I think our issue and the problem have been no check and balance. And that's just it. This issue of supremacy, everybody wants to show that. I was saying when you say, oh, we don't, I won't blame the people if they don't do 100% what they're supposed to do. And I was like, look, Gabriel, I don't agree with that. And I won't agree. Not because they do not have the full structure, but they're getting the money they're supposed to get. Unless they want to tell us and say, oh, the government is saying they are not going to give Riverside County any money because Riverside has not gotten her full structure. Then we say we can blame them. Again, we will still blame them because they are holding on to the key. They are the ones saying, hey, if my interest, if you don't put my interest, I'm not going to confirm. And the other person is saying, hey, I got nothing to do with your interest. So if you don't confirm, that's your business. I have my job. And he said, oh, yeah, me too, I have my job. So whether we confront people or not, we don't care. So if nothing happens, you blame them. And we should not find a space for any kind of excuse that they might want to give. Nobody should tell us, hey, we don't have full structure. The government denied them. We deny ourselves full structure. We say we are fighting supremacy. I'm the big person here, and they are disrespecting me. I'm this person and that person. So they are responsible. They are responsible. What I think the pressure groups within the county, they are to also blame, because I mean they're not saying anything. They're not saying anything. And yeah, we are. If you don't have the structure, but you have people who control money. So what is happening to the plan committee money? What is happening to the plan committee money? Okay, Gabriel, let's just Gabriel, I'm not hearing you. Gabriel, you are muted.
Yeah, Eric. Sorry, I thought you went off. Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I want to open the telephone line so that we can hear from our audience as it relates to the first talking point on maximizing our resources for the greater impact, so that we, since the donors are leaving us, the little we have, we can make use of it for the greater impact going forward. So let me call the numbers again: 03557439000776. Would I take the first person? Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Good evening. Your name? Where you calling me from?
Yeah, President Clear.
Yeah, Mr. Tia, please go ahead.
You know the issue of our local income,
Yeah.
locally generated income is a problem in this country. These monies that are generated from Special Election Committee, they are like any other natural resources or blessing for the country. But when people are sent into leadership position, it becomes different things. When these people are ordinary people, they join us and we castigate leaders that are not managing this money. But whatever they are sent, it is the West. I keep telling people that the Council for the Care Committee supposed to make great impact in the country. All these things have been falling on deaf ears. Where are we? The pay committee policies are not intended to augment anybody's salary. If government giving jobs and the salary that you are taking them without position, you are not very far away, you will get it. But then in your mind, you say, okay, I'm accepting it because I will ask the committee money there. Then you go by. This is very bad. So I'm calling all those that people still on the plate committee money to consider that the money is intended for the benefit of the people of London and not for personal profit. And not money to really keep to the land and start distributing to the people, then you say you want this, you want this, you want this, you want this. The intended purpose is for the money to send the people of London.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much for your point on that. And Mr. Say you have a very excellent point. Let me hear from another person. 055-743-900, 0776-309-132 are the numbers to call in and have a saying tonight on the show, making use of our domestic resources that will generate a greater impact, not just looking forward to national government and the donors in the midst of donors drawdown across Liberia. So let me go back to Eric, and as our first caller said, our first caller, Mr. Charles Harrison Tier said, we are not been making use of our domestic revenue generated like the Clean Committee said. The Clean Committee is like any other revenue that a country or a country would generate for development purpose, for it being there for different purpose. It's not play the role that we think it's supposed to play. I think he calls more what he said.
If you're still on the line,
let me take another person here. Hello. Yeah, Neil, where you calling me from?
This is Monty TV and I call for Grandmaster County.
Go ahead.
The gentleman, I thank you for the platform. I don't want to present to you guys' attention.
Yeah.
The last some money I wanted to rehabilitate the rule for Yapa, let's say for Palm Bush, and Ghana, sector.
Yeah.
And now, Martin is doing that work. The money that we are not, what because of that money? And we're not even talking about that.
Okay, I think the country that further are listening that they will better answer that question, not us. Thank you so very much. So I can take more call before I go back to Aries. 055-743-900, 0776-309-132. So we're discussing tonight making use of our domestic revenue that we generate to have a greater impact in the midst of donors drawdown. The Americans have left already. Donald Trump is saying you have to feed your child. If you have a child, not he's supposed to feed that child as the president of the free world nation. So they no longer doing those things that they used to do for us. USAID is no longer in Liberia. So we, as some of the poorest people or the poorest country, that will be greatly impacted. Other countries, they don't care about USAID project, they don't care about donors funding. What they have to do is to make sure that they just get left and keep working for themselves and making use of the local domestic revenue that they generate. Well, what are we doing? Why are we keeping the resources that we're generating? Where are we keeping it? What are the reasons the people are not aware? How we intend to use those money? We still do have them in our covers. We have more to do in this country as a country, from education to health to infrastructure to basic social services. We have a lot to do. Yeah, Eric, let me hear you. Eric, are you there? Yeah, go ahead. Eric, are you there? Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said I would have asked the first caller, Charles Harrison Tier, who have been in the realm of the civil society at the county, from the national to the county level. who played some role here in Riverside County, and during his term as part and parcel of the civil society in Riverside County, what did it really do? I mean, they had the opportunity to blow the whistle. Did they do that? I don't think so. So we trusted them. The people trusted them. Say, hey, you will civil society here to hold government and to the bearers feet to the fire. But then there he is today saying, hey, what did they do with the money? He's asking the wrong time. He had the opportunity, he had the power, he had the gabble to ask, what are you doing with the money? Now that he's asking, what did they do with the money? I mean, I think he's asking the wrong time. He's asking the wrong time. And today we still have we have someone there. We have people as head of civil society, the youth groups. They are here. They are not asking. They want to be the Charles Harrison tier tomorrow when they're no longer there, and then they call on the show and say, what did they do with the money? But I think when you have the power, when that's the time you're supposed to do the work. Somebody did a write-up today. Was it today that I was reading? It said, the party is doing what CDC is supposed to have done that they did not do, and they're making them angry. He said, I'm not a unity partisan, but I mean, if I see sedition talking, I mean, I get angry because they said they would have prosecuted people who stole it, that bring people money. But when it came to power, they refused to do that. In fact, they said because we are all one people, we need peace and blah, blah, blah. So they did not do that. But these people are saying no. Whether we are one people, in fact, that's the main reason why nobody's supposed to steal other people's money, because we are all one people. So it's the same thing. You had the power, bro. Yeah, but you didn't do anything. Today, our people suffer. Yeah, that's what's happening. A lot of committees in this country, revenue collection committee, they are here. You had a scrap committee, you had a plan committee, you had a gold committee, you had all these committees. And at the time, Charles Harrison Tier and the court officers were there. Most of the committees were really, really making money, like the scrap committee, like the gold committee. At the time, you had the people mining all on the Timor River, all around here. The Timor River scrap, the bridge, that scrap was there. But these people did not say anything. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think we need recommendation now instead of us asking questions. What did they do with the money? It's about recommendation. Let's suggest what can be done. How can we get on par with other counties? All of the things we say here, things that are happening in other counties, we are not seeing it here, and it's not happening. This Friday, we talked about how the Basel Legislative Caucus is constructing a gigantic building as office, that each of the lawmakers in Grand Basel will have an office space. That is when you agree. That is when you are working together and agree, put aside your differences and say, look, let's do this for the sake of the people. That's what's happening over there. When are we going to see that? And as long as we are not seeing that issue of development, we should leave it, because these are people that have to agree. They have to agree. So, I mean, that's just it. And then, like we said, the veteran, had a program. It was very good. Very good. I didn't go there because I have work doing in the communities. So I did not go there. But, when the speaker spoke, people came with the information and they said, like, oh, the speaker called on these guys to come to the county. And
Eric, let me move you to this person on the line. Hello.
Yeah, Eric here for the second time.
Yeah, Mr. Tia, go ahead.
I just want to remind listeners that I started the Civil Society Council, Riverside chapter, between 2006 and 2014.
Yeah.
And during my leadership, people who can recall we retrospect and remember what people together want in good deeds. But these positions are associated with tenure. I was succeeded by others, directing director or directing family others and the leadership structure. I'm just a mere activist and not in the leadership. And I cannot even influence any decision. But listeners and our witnesses are being blown big trumpet over and over as a mere activist, and nobody to even join me. That the issue of the prayer committee is very, very cardinal to the people of Roses. Nobody will join me. The Roses is just something else. Even if we can remember in 2000, later 2018 or later 2021 project for being partner or county and direction and all those years.
Yes, yes.
Similar thing or even situations that went in our country, they have a year. But what for those are not here? So people are the Philippines and they're living with parliamentary position.
Mm-hmm.
All that our talking right is in. Our talking rubbish being down so.
Yeah.
Are we there?
Yeah, Mr. T.
About 2 or 3 years ago, I often I will call the conservative movement of Northern County. And we get a business career and receive a contract. There we expected to have even grown all the credit. There is few people in the coal. So I'm not saying you want to we are even pushing a cause that's supposed to be collected. People do not take fast. This is the problem not here. There is no listener that will even tell you that from last year I have not been raising the issue of the other manner in which the total committee is used.
So Mr. T, let me ask you this question just before you leave the lab. If you were asked to sit with the current local leadership, they're just coming in, what would be your advice or your recommendation to them so that they can train on the same path the rest of the people did?
What happened at certain point in time, maybe I don't know whether you were saying this one when yet. Those that were in control of the prayer committee, they were taken to court.
Yeah, I heard that.
They were taken to court. And there was some managerial order we had in the court at Peter County. Peter County was taking them. And Peter County touching them for that. Peter County are court eye. So who's the man is on the right side, the I place on this side, who's the man got you. I'm sure I tell you to God this side. And the book of that, she was knowing that I'm telling you, there are people telling you about standing there. People are in the country.
Okay. So let's consider
the organization in which the policy of natural resources are being directed. If we say that we rule for us,
let's continue to talk.
Where are we?
That's it. We continue to
Where
talk.
are we?
Okay.
Okay,
Mr. T, thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I think you made a very salient point to that. So for me, I think the current leadership have not seated it fully. And I think if they're listening in good faith with this kind of conversation, they will be able to properly plan and see what they can do. Set out looking, team along with former representative Zambia and our superintendent. I think they can rewrite the history that the field history of our county. They can rewrite that if they want to, and not training on the same path the Kabia leadership and the rest of them train on in the past. Eric, are you there? Eric, are you following? Are you listening to me? Okay, I think Eric will come back on very shortly. But I can take more call on this issue, so I'll just take one more call, then I'll go for a break. Then when I come back, we will be able to discuss the veterans program over the weekend and what's the impact of the organization to the county. So Eric and I will have that conversation. So 055-743900, 0776309132 are the numbers. And I will say to people, please let continue to talk, not fight, but let continue to talk in a very dialogue, in a civil manner, not accusations, but with facts, so that our leaders can listen to us, so that we can find amicable solutions to those problems we face with. It's a shame that we're always being considered the least. We have to prioritize our most urgent priorities and let put ourselves from beyond all those, and let's see whether we can rub shoulder with others. They have the same brain that we have. They are not better than us. They're not thinking better than us. They're not educated better than us. We can do the same. And if we are working as a team, putting aside our political differences, whether you're from the other political party or you support this other individual, and not base our development program on individuality, I think we can do better as a country, as one team, if we actually want to do better. I hope my colleague Eric is there now. Hello, Eric, are you there? He's not yet home. So let me take another call. Hello? Oh, boy. So I hope I'll take another call. 05574390007763093132. I'll just take one more call tonight on the particular issue, then we will come back. We'll talk about the veterans. So Eric is back on. Eric, we just have just a minute on this particular topic just before we go for the break to talk about the veterans in terms of maximizing our resources for the greater impact. Just a minute. What else you have to say? Then we can go for the break.
Yeah, so I think we have to go for the break. From my end, I think I have nothing about the resources. I think we have said it all. Most of the thing I always want for our people to be the one, making a suggestion. We bring out the topic for them and bring out the suggestion, and that our people listen and to the bearers or actors, add upon what they will say. But most often you are on a show, and when you leave the show, then people say, "Oh yes, I monitor the show. Thank you." And we thought, that's how it happened. So I think we can go for the break, and then we can come back and proceed with the other discussion. You getting me, Gabriel? Gabriel? Gabriel, you are muted, man. I'm gonna mute this guy.
brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make a stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Love is all we need to make a stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make it stand. Let's celebrate and have a peaceful home. Love is all we need to make it stand.
Okay, so very shortly we'll be joined by Gabriel, and then we continue from here. The time checking studio is 9:49, and we still have time here. So let's continue with some beautiful songs until we can get Gabriel back here, and then we move.
Your love has taken over me. Yes, I've learned to depend on you. I've got confidence in you. In you, oh Lord, I put my trust. Your love has taken over me, 'cause I've learned to depend on you. I have confidence in you. In you, oh Lord, I put my trust.
Oh yes,
Studio
what
NDC
wonderful
Radio
song.
coming to you live from both Sigma Studio and NDC Radio. So we're simultaneously broadcasting from two different studios. So welcome back to the show, and then we're going to be discussing something as a student community. That's the veterans, the Rivers Veteran Association. Over the weekend, they have this ceremony that took place at the Blue Jay Guest House Conference Hall, and it was graced by His Honor Judge Dionys Tombaum, the resident Circuit Judge of the 14th Judicial Circuit Court for Rivers. He was the keynote speaker, and the County Attorney, the County Education Officer, Custom Dogway, and School of Government officials and the veteran communities and all the students were there on the weekend. I think that program was held on Friday, and it was a wonderful occasion. So we're going to talk much about that in the next 10 minutes, just before being farewell tonight on the show. And the show is quite interesting, entertaining, informing, and engaging as well. And I like that. I always love being on radio like this way, and a cool Monday evening like this one. So let me welcome back my colleague Eric Opadu.
Thank you, Gabriel.
So Eric, I'm hearing a music playing at the back. I think
It's too loud.
Hello, but quiet.
It's okay. It's okay. So from the beginning of the show, when I was doing the intro, I talked about my siblings' birthday. Today is the birthday of my older brother. He's in Zambia, and then my younger sister. Again, today is her birthday too. So I want to use the opportunity to say happy birthday. Today is a great celebration for the family. Two people, same month, same birthday, but unique in their own different ways. So on behalf of this studio, I would like to say happy birthday to both of them. This is Kenny Jackson and this is Sophie Swa Jackson. Happy birthday to both of you, wherever you guys are following us from. I'd like to say happy birthday to you. Well, yes, like you said, it was good. You know, I always admire when our guys, come to Rivers to have their occasion, but I have always had problem. I know when people are only coming to Rivers to have occasion, and after the occasion, they go back to Monrovia or wherever they are from. Like when even the Rivers Citizen Union, talked about having their election, and then they were like, on social media saying you want this position, you do this, you do that. And I was like, how can you have a Rivers Citizen Union's election in Monrovia? Well, and the elections, were held in Monrovia, and that's it. But with the guest speaker calling on people, to think about having a home, I think he said it all. This is something that we all have been saying. Don't get it wrong. Sometimes when you say, people say, oh, because we want to be home, so we shouldn't go and seek further education. Not what we're saying, but if you've done that, come home, get something here. If each and every one of us just got one structures here, we are not going to be talking about Ganta the way you were talking about Ganta today. We are not going to be talking about Buchanan. We're not going to be talking about Banga. But those guys will go there. They are learning, the Nimbayans, the Bunkies, and they are going back home, putting up structures and things. And I think we need to tap into that, so that tomorrow people will not continue to say, oh, what is in Rivers? Who is there? Nobody there, nothing there. And just like that. So I think Councilor Bauman did not mince his word when he said that, and it makes a lot of sense. So I'm hoping that those that listen, will take something from there and come home, so that this is the only county we got. This is the only property that I know that no one can take from us, except you die. And I know, yes. So that was it. And I think the council did extremely well. He did not mince his word when he said there's a need for all of us to come home and see how best we can develop Riverside County.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. And one thing I also captured from his honor keynote address to the student, the veteran community, is that the veteran community might not just be a social club where, for example, there will just be a gathering for beer parties or style parties or eating and drinking at that particular event, but it must be an organization that can invest into the county education system, invest into youth empowerment, invest into career development, and that's very important for our emerging community, because there are a lot of young people. He also spoke about that they have talents in the community, but those talents are hidden and no talent in exposure, and no talent can only be exposed by the people in the veteran community that have experiences that they can use those experiences so that they can have a greater role on or greater impact on the activities of the country. And they must be also able to seek with policy makers to see how they influence policy decisions surrounding education, for example, because that's the code that is lacking. If you do a survey, you understand that close to 30 to 40% of our student community, of our young population, lack enthusiasm about education, meaning that they no longer believe that education is the key to success. Education is a bedrock for any development. They no longer believe in that theory that says that. So what they're interested into is to look, for example, they want the funding today. Either they ride motorbike to get the funding today, or either they invest, either they go to the Goma to get the funding today. They are not ready to be patient, to go through whole net of study, to go through college education, to go through basic primary education, secondary education, to go through some level of vocational education that they will get some skills, because not everybody is supposed to go to college, but they will get some basic skills. So there's a level of interest into the education sector drastically reduced. So what can we do? So I think the veteran community has a greater role to play in that, because they've been there before, and this is why the judge said your education, you are a chief, you must be able to amalgamate your, the professional backgrounds, your different professions. That if you are a lawyer, if you are a medical practitioner, if you are somebody in the social sciences, if you in education, you can marshalize or amalgamate your different professional backgrounds so that you can have a greater impact on the younger generation. And over the past, people who have been educated outside of this place. When I was in school, I used to see the university student will come, and there was a bit of gap between them and people who were in schools in the county. So they were not breaking forward, breaking close to those people who were the next generation then. So I think this veteran community might not follow that trend. Is to, for example, institute career programs that they can go to the schools. They can engage the students. They can know the issues. They can go to the community and listen to the students. Why is it that the person dropped out from school? What was the issue? And it's not just about everything. Is not just about money, but there are low-hanging fruits that can tap on to make sure that we strengthen our system. Because look, Riverside is so terrible. Let me put it that way. At the point that every sector of our country needs urgent intervention. So if you put it on skills, we need intervention in every area. So if we need intervention in every area, you can't just blame it on the politicians. No. You can't just leave it with the local administration here. You can't leave it with our chiefs. You can't leave it with our traditional leaders, our professionals. It is a collective effort of people like the university veterans that can come back and contribute. The university veteran that can come back and say, look, let's institute a tutorial classes for the next 12 graders, for the 9th graders, for the 6th graders, for the 10th graders. Let listen to them. Let open a career developing a forum. Let listen to them. When you graduate tomorrow, what do you want to be? Where is your strength? Which courses do you have a strength? And let's see whether we can empower these people into those areas. For example, if somebody has a strength in chemistry or biology, let's see whether we can empower that person to do more, because that person could be the next medical doctor tomorrow. If they graduate, they go to the university, they did their first degree to go to doctorate, they become people for us. So I think it just go beyond, like the George put it. I agree with you 100%. It must not just be a mere social club where we just come and have a fun time. It must be an organization that can change the narrative of this county. So over the years period, they've been, I won't say necessarily corrected, let me put it that way, because I'm not authenticated that they have received funding through the County Social Development Fund for their operations. So how did they use those funding, and how those funding can be a greater impact to people back here in Rivers? So not just going to the same county authority that has been burdened with a lot of load on their head to ask for money to do something. Because people in the veteran community are people who are already working people. Most of them are working people. So what happens is, for example, we put our $2, our $3, our $5 together and say, look, we want to intervene in this particular issue. What happens if we institute a dollar rally for our diaspora veterans to join us, to contribute? So I think they have a very greater role to play in the new Rivers. So except they don't want to play that role, but I think the county authority, the local authority, I trust their ability, that they will give them a chance to effectively and efficiently play that role, so that they can change some of the narrative in the county area.
You are correct, and like you said, we are not too sure, or we cannot authenticate whether they have actually received money from the county. But I know that the Riverside Citizen Student Union have received money from the county, unlike the print. They ever received money before. But I think the judge was right, because over 2-3 occasions we saw the University Student Union receive money. They will come and say, oh, we're having election, we are having induction, they print the t-shirts, they come to Yapatan, they come to the town hall, and that's just all about it. You hear about them again, it'll be either another county sitting, and then they come and just like that. So I'm just hoping, like you said, and like the judge rightly put it should not be another social club where you come to the county, you get money, and then you come and print your t-shirt. I think they should be coming up with plans, okay, over this period of time, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to maybe invest in education. We want to put our time in education to make sure that we work with the Riverside school system to improve some of the system wherever that needs to be improved. This time around, we're going to put our strength on our focus on health and have a kind of a roadmap, a plan, and not just to come, oh, we're veteran, and somebody come and give a good speech. And at the end of the day, they all go back and we don't see anything happening, because it's us that can do what we think we need in this county. And if we are from diverse backgrounds, from different communities, we put our ideas and strength together, I think we're going to move the county forward. So yes, it's a good thing that the judge said that, yes, don't just come, you come here, you have a party, you do beer, you do start, you wear t-shirts, you walk along the road, you open up your arms, and that just be to it. What is it that is going to motivate the people that are coming after you people, the people that are not even yet in university, before we're talking about those that have already graduated, but those that are down there, somebody say down below, those that are there, what is it that is going to motivate them? those are things you want to do. You see, so I think the judge has something. He said it right, and it left with our people. Like I said, people who were there. Somebody who was there, he was like, "Hey, my disappointment is the message that should have been heard by over 100 persons was only heard by less than 20 persons." So what we was trying to say was that the occasion was not well attended, and that message for him, it did not really get on a fertile ground. So other people were like, I think the issue of mobilization was not really done. No publicity was done. So I think that for them, that was what was responsible. Again, for me, that's what I saw, because I mean, not many people were there, including some of us. For me, I got that information on Friday when I was in Cestus. That was how I got the information. I already had an appointment on Saturday to move in the community to do some work, so I couldn't have gone there. So I mean, even people from the community, not many people were there. So the good message just went to fewer people, and one of them who was saying it. He said, "I don't know how come we were over there, and that message that should have gone up to like 100% went up to less than 20%." And the other person said, "Yeah, because no enough publicity was done. And besides that, even though we didn't do publicity, but people saw us, why they didn't come?" And the thing is not about people saw us and they did not come. It's about, look, this is a society where now anything that you do, you want the best of it. You yourself go to the people and tell them. If you don't do sensitization to sensitize the people, the reason we are here is to, look, go to the parents. Hey, parent, the reason we are here is to motivate your children, to tell them that tomorrow they are going to be like us. So I thought they needed to have gone to instead of just inviting the resident DO or the CEO. I thought they should have gone to the school and they should have invited the students in the school. They should have informed the principals of the various schools. Hey, students should be there so that they can hear from us, so that we can motivate them. But that was not done. You know, the extended invite to big people who are already there. They forgot about people who are supposed to come after them. They did not do that. So yes, it was good, but it was the occasion was more or less so of them, except that those people that they invited. And I think next time, if they're doing that, they should, I mean, involve the larger community, go to the schools. Let the grade school students be represented, because they are the people that are going to follow their footsteps tomorrow. And not just a veteran yet. What made us veteran? Because we went to school, we reached the level, we came from elementary, we went to junior high, we went to senior high, we graduated, we went to college, and the university, we graduated, so we are veteran. Students, we want you to be like that, follow our step, you know, and with that, you're going to be speaking something into the minds of the children, but that was not done. That was my own observation that I saw, that I thought I needed to say here, Gabriel.
Yeah, thank you, Eric. I think that is important. I think well noted that this is why one thing I also observed. I received a communication, I think 3 days or two to a occasion, a public service announcement that came from one of the veterans, and it been aired on our station. The same morning I received that communication, the same morning I heard one of them on RBS. So like tomorrow is the program, the publicity aspect itself is full, and I don't know, because as a veterans, they have all people from professional background, including communication persons. So how will you have these different people from different professional background? It's a bigger community that can do more job in this country, like you said, than any other group. Because, for example, if they want to build a structure, they're not going to be looking for engineers. We already have engineers within the organization. If they want to engage in any civil activities, they have all of the people. If they want to engage in the legal outreach program, they have the lawyers. So they are in better but with all professional backgrounds. So I think they have to next program they have to do more, so that, like you said, we can have the students participating. We can have some community leaders, not just the bourgeoisie, the people who are already up there, and go for the more marginalized group, like one thing George Brown said, so that you can bring them on path, the hidden talents in the community. There are kids that have huge talents, but those talents are hidden, and they need somebody that can expose your talents tomorrow. If one, probably you could be that person, but except you know your responsibility as a veteran. So Eric, I think time I've been fast spent. It's already 15 minutes past 10 o'clock, and we'll have to go to take our bed rest for the day and come back on by God's willing on Friday. It's a Friday or Wednesday, I mean. Interesting. So maybe Wednesday we'll come back on the show. We can invite two of the veterans that can join us, maybe most especially the president and maybe other people that can join us, and let us holistically discuss reverses from all perspectives to what the new leadership of the veterans is going to do, so that they can intervene in some of the areas. Eric, you mute.
Thank you, Gilbert. You're right. We have to take a rest. Tomorrow, we'll kind of be traveling, and I don't know whether on Wednesday. Tomorrow is Tuesday. I don't know whether Wednesday, whether I'm going to be. I'm going to get network. I don't really know. So, but Friday, we're going to be on the show. I don't know whether I'm going to get network on Wednesday. I'm still thinking. I'm going somewhere, but I hope and pray that we get network and get internet service, so that we'll be on the show on Wednesday. Yeah, and that's my prayer. But whatever the case is, it was good being here, and hopefully Wednesday we're going to be here. If we're not here Wednesday, this show is going to be restreamed on Wednesday. So yeah, so as to keep the space, on, so that people wouldn't forget. So gonna be here on Wednesday. Yeah. You are muted, bro.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you so very much for the night, and I'm taking my net rest now. Hopefully to continue tomorrow with my hustle and bustles. And Wednesday I'll be here. I hope that you get internet so that we can do the show. But if you're not, if you're out of internet coverage, I will do my best to make sure that I continue with the show. Then on Friday, the whole team will be back here so that we can keep those discussions going. But let's say to all of our listeners and our leaders that listen to the show, we have a good faith for this country, and they show it's so patriotic at the point that Rivers is above every interest. So let's collectively work together as a team, not just see us as people who are against certain people, but people who are interested into the development of this country going forward. So Eric, have yourself a good night, and then let me wish you well and the rest of the guys from the upper town, and hopefully by Wednesday I'll be with you.
Thank you so much, bro.
Have
a wonderful night. Well, this is how I would like to come to the end of another edition of the program Frontline Focus Roundtable. Don't forget to join us on Wednesday, same time, in which I'll bring you another fresh edition of the program Frontline Focus Roundtable. My name is Eric Opatu. Have yourself a wonderful night.
What's going on, everyone? Chelsea D here. If you're looking for the latest news and entertainment, there's only one source, and that is Voice TV Africa.